recording now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Get Heavy vlogcast, podcast, whatever this thing has become. I am John, and next to me, I think, which side are you on, Craig? Are you on
I'm
this
on
side?
Your right.
You're on, okay.
This way?
You're on my left.
Okay, there you go.
Right here.
Either way, somewhere over here.
Right here we got Craig.
Yeah.
Right here we got Simo. Craig is my co-host. Simo is our guest.
Yes.
We are bringing on guests to talk about what everyone's going through and how everyone is doing during this whole thing.
Yeah,
right?
Man. So Simo, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit, who you are, where you come from, kind of thing.
Okay, I'm Simo. I come from Italy, but I have lived in the States for the past 5 years, and I just relocated 3 weeks ago. I'm a touring musician, drummer. I've been playing with a bunch of bands in Italy, all over Europe, and in the past 5 years, I've been touring all the States and Canada with mainly punk bands like Guttermouth, Implants, and all the California-based bands. I've lived in South Bay, Los Angeles for the past 5 years.
And okay, so you've been living in LA and you recently just moved back to Italy.
Yeah, I was in New York for the past year though, but 4 years in LA, 1 year in New York, and now I just moved back home.
Wow, that's good. And so, sorry, John, go ahead.
What made you want to move back? Were you planning on moving back? Was this kind of a,
Yeah, it's a funny story. I was planning on moving back because my green card renewal got denied. And I was talking to a lawyer, and he wanted something around like $5,000 just to go through the whole process. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, So I'm
Yeah.
like, I might just as well try my luck and write a letter by myself, which I did. But then I started seeing all these things happening in China and obviously Italy, which is my homeland, and starting hearing about all this stuff going crazy. And I'm like, well, maybe I should go home. Maybe my family needs me, or, I'd be safer there just because I don't have a health insurance in the States. I cannot afford one. And,
Wow.
the good thing about living here, we have a lot of problems, but the good thing about living here is you don't have to worry about that because you'll be taken care of no matter what. So I did the math and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to write this letter, send it to immigration, and take off. I got home. After a week, I got home. I got my 10 years green card in the mail.
No way, really? Damn, dude. Well, but I mean, it's better. So you started seeing the sickness come around, and did you know the writing was on the wall for them shutting down Italy before you moved?
I could smell it. How can you be sure 100% about it? But
Sure.
I was talking to a few friends, and they already shut down a bunch of bars and restaurants. Not all of them, but like some started to do it. And at first, to be honest, I thought like the whole conspiracy theory, like this is bullshit, is going to be over in a week or so.
Yeah.
Then I get home, and friends that I personally know, and I've been hanging out with, musician friends as well. I have a very good friend of mine who lives 2 houses from me. He's in an ICU, and he's been intubated for like 2 weeks right now.
And a younger guy? I mean,
he's 42 years old.
Right. Yeah. That's terrifying, man. So you have friends and family that have been directly affected by all this.
Oh, yeah. The only music store we have in this small little town where I live in, which is called Pesaro, we only have a music store, and the owner of that music store, I just heard, he's been in the ICU for the past 12 days.
Wow.
So, it's kind of like you think, it's bullshit, this and that. But then when you see it happening to people that live like really close to you, next to you, you don't take it as a joke anymore because,
right,
it's real. It is really real.
So, so would you say one of the driving forces as to why you left America was because of the health insurance reason?
Of course.
Was that 100%?
I wasn't going to stay in New York with a few $1,000s saved up, having to pay rent without a job, because the first thing they shut down is the whole entertainment industry. So no gigs, no studio work, nothing at all, And I was like, what? I already had an experience where I went to a hospital in LA, and it was my first experience. And luckily the last. But you know, coming from Europe, it was kind of weird because, like, you know, you're sitting there and this lady comes and she's like, "Oh, like, do you have like, do you check your wallet?" I was so freaked out by that.
Whoa, really?
I mean,
For
not
cash,
literally.
like they checked your wallet, basically? Yeah.
No, like, check your wallet in the meaning that, you know, they're like,
Oh,
"Do you have any insurance?
do you have
How
any
much
way to pay for this shit?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're
How much
asking you.
money can
Wow.
you give us today?" And I'm like puking my guts out. And I'm like, "Can I please at least finish puking first before I, you know, like
Yeah.
checking my wallet if I have something to give you?" I mean, it's just like different ways of doing things. I'm not necessarily talking shit. Coming from Europe, it's very odd to experience something like that, you know? And
Yeah.
after that experience, when this thing started happening, I was like, there is no way I'm staying here. I'm not going to risk my health, you know, just.
Yes, especially seeing what's happening in New York right now. I mean, it's, you know, they're getting hit harder than almost any. I heard we just surpassed everyone in the world for most outbreaks, right? So, I mean, it's, you know, you got out in the right time as far as I'm concerned, especially being stuck in New York. You know, that'd be a nightmare. I have friends that are there now that, I mean, have lived there their whole lives, and they're telling me the same type of shit. You know, so everyone's so afraid to even try to go to the hospital that they're trying to man it out, you know what I mean? Or just tough it out, you know, in their own places. And I mean, and I read an article about how they're literally trying to get trickled in like 5 ventilators a day just to help, you know, 5 extra people rather than making the hard choices. And it's crazy to see it starting to develop already here, you know.
Right. What's the population of your town that you're in? Your community.
Like number wise?
Right now, yeah, number wise.
We're around 100,000, around that number, more
kind
or
of like
less.
Ventura size, really. That's about our
province,
area.
Like the town itself is probably like 40,000, but with the, you know, the whole province, the surrounding areas and whatnot, we got to around 100,000 people. Yeah.
And you guys are on full lockdown?
Full lockdown.
Full lockdown?
Yeah, like it's like so full lockdown that I walked my dog last night, and a guy from a balcony was yelling me to go home.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how the situation right now. You know, like.
I mean,
it's pretty intense.
I mean, it's crazy because like I live next door to a business, and I live next door to a Starbucks. And the drive-through is the only thing that's open, and I'm kind of that guy. Like, I'm literally like in my front yard, and I'll see like cars pull, like just like a trove of cars, and it's like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, who wants to stay up during all of this?
You guys really needed some Starbucks.
I'm literally like, you
needed
really
a
need
frap.
coffee?
Yeah.
You know, so and it's like, you know what, like they're just going to get a cup of coffee. You know what? In all this chaos, they're just like, fuck, I just want to go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand like the, you know, like you're just like, I'm just going to walk my dog. I need to walk my dog. The dog needs to get out.
Yeah. And there's measures, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you keep the distance from everybody else, there's nothing wrong with going out. You just have to be aware of your surroundings and the people around you. If I walk my dog and I see a lady coming my way, I turn around and go the other way.
Yeah.
You know, just like common sense, you know. Like, But
Yeah,
I understand people freak out because, you know, it is especially, you know, with the economy, we don't have a very strong economy here. So this thing is going to really fuck a lot of people over.
Is it a lot of tourism base?
Oh, it's all we have.
It's all tourism, right?
Especially my area. I live kind of like on the beach. So from May to September, it's kind of like where we make the most money. And everybody has canceled all their trips for the entire
I'm sure, dude. Yeah.
Hotels, all kinds of stuff. They're not booked for the entire summer.
Yeah.
Now, is your community, is it under distress? Like, is everywhere over Italy under distress? Is it like pockets, kind of like here in America? Like, I don't really think that people understand, you know, like sometimes they explain it, they're like, oh my God, Italy, whoa, it's just everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, is it pockets? Is your hospital, is your personal hospital like under distress? Do they have like so many people coming in, or are they just kind of like prepared for what could be coming to your area? Is it more preventative or in your area, or is it more reactionary.
I say it's preventative everywhere because the media. I think the media right now is playing the role in Italy of like the fear game, just because
Oh yeah.
we want people to stay home, because otherwise they're already having a hard time in some parts of the country handling all the sick people. So
Right.
with that fear game, they keep them inside so that, you know, it doesn't get to the point where people have literally to die even more. You know what I mean? So that
Right.
you don't have to come to the point of like, oh, the old man or the young guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're
Right.
trying to prevent kind of that thing from happening. You know?
You know, it's crazy because I've been seeing all those videos from Italy of people, you know, singing from their balconies, all this incredible stuff. I mean, like, you know, something to do with that old part of Europe where you guys have been through a ton of shit and it's not going to be the last thing you go through. Whereas America is like, everyone is panicking right now, you know, because we've, as a country, since maybe World War II, have never really had to make a fucking sacrifice, you know, most of us, you know what I mean? So I see these videos of like, you know, people singing from their balconies and performing concerts and all this stuff. And I just think it's going to be, if it hits America, it's going to be dudes shooting rockets from their balconies at people to shut up. You know what I mean? It's not, it's so, I always trip out, you know what I mean? Like, how is it going to look if it, you know, are people going to band together like it seems like you guys have, you know what I mean? Where everyone's kind of in it to win it and everyone's in their own deal, or is it going to go full, you know, full scale world war? I don't know. You know, I'm so nervous to see the amount of people that are freaking out and nothing has really happened to them yet. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, I hear you.
man, you know, it makes me nervous. So it's cool to see that there is a community, at least what you see online, you know, as much as the fear and the panic comes in, you know, into the media, you see the videos surfacing on social media of people really banding together and helping each other out, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, you know, and even like just simple things like going to the groceries, everybody, you know, is wearing their mask. They're trying to be, you know, respect the measure of distance between
Mhm.
everybody. When it comes to that, we really know how to be a community. You know what I mean? And
Right.
probably that has to do with, you know, like coming back after World War II and having nothing and having to build everything from the start
Exactly.
again.
Right.
Even though
Exactly.
my generation didn't have to deal with it, but are things that are passed on from, like, you know, the parents of your parents and so on. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that stuff gets transferred in your DNA. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That type of mentality. You know what I mean?
Well, I
I mean,
mean, like
because
when
you know
there's
what was the worst that happened to us? We lost some guys in World War II, but we basically had to make our wives go to work. I mean, that was, you know what I mean? People did starve, and you know, but our country was not bombarded and blown up. You know what I mean? Like what happened in Europe. You know, so I think that type of trauma, that type of chaos it does transfer through generational DNA, I think, you know what I mean, a little bit. And I think maybe you guys are a little more prepared for shit because you don't see the pettiness in it, you know?
yeah. I think that, you know, every person in the world, no matter where they come from, after you watch the news, turn it off, look around, and see with your own eyes.
yeah.
Try not to listen to what you
Right.
just watch on TV, and just, I'm not saying go out and kiss people, but just try to be realistic. Find something to do that is going to take your mind off. You know, like, I'm a drummer. I can't play the drums in my room. I'm playing guitar, you know, like learning new things, writing, reading. Like, try to like fight this thing, because otherwise you're just going to go down into depression, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
So,
so what is your current quarantine status? Are you with you're with family? You're
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
got?
I'm with
What do
my
you got in
mother.
your exact area? Like when you go out, like how do you guys go grocery shopping? Is there like one person? Is anyone like the designate? Are you the designated grocery getter? Stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So basically, I try to be, because, you know, I mean, my mom is young. She's like 55 years old. So, I mean, but, you know, I want to play it safe. So I try to do all the groceries and going out of the house stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you cannot even drive a car here.
Oh,
Because
really?
we're small villages. So if you need groceries, you don't have to drive. You can walk, no matter where you live in the village. They're very small, you know. It's kind of like the opposite of America. You know what I mean in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So if you're driving a car, you risk getting pulled over, and you need to have a paper with you that says where you're
Hello?
Did we lose him?
We're
No.
here.
Oh,
You have to
there you
feel
are,
that.
yeah.
You have to feel that thing, and then when they pull you over, they have to check if what you're saying is true or not. It's like,
Wow.
you know. So
Wow.
there's really nobody around, and people are really trying to, like, you know, stay in and just like. But the grocery store is normal. Same amount of people work there, but you know, it's like a little square where you have the groceries, bakery, the hardware store, the bar, whatever, and the only thing that are open are the bakery and the grocery store. Nothing else. Yeah.
So here's a real question though: how's your guys' fucking toilet paper supply?
We don't have that problem because we have a bidet.
What the fuck?
Oh, you got bidet. They got bidets.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's insane. That's the one weird. That's the weirdest thing to me is like, what sort of magical power does fucking toilet paper have? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's so ridiculous, man. Yeah. I saw a guy post from like South Korea the other day. He's like, hey, we had it pretty bad, but look at these shelves. You know what I mean? Like, what is happening? You know? So as far as it goes, like where you guys are you guys, do you guys think you guys are halfway through this? I mean, where do you guys feel like you are right now? I mean, because that's what we're all wondering. We're on week 2 of being shut down, you know, realistically, like in California. And they're saying 10 weeks total. John thinks it's going to be 6 months, but I don't, you know, I'm hoping not, you know, but do you guys have any sort of frame of reference? Are you starting to see the curve flatten? Is there any talk of that?
The curve is going down a little bit, but I'm afraid that we're not gonna get out of here until May.
Yeah, that's
for now. The date that the government said is April 3rd, which is
really?
right around the corner.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that like in a couple of days from now, they're gonna be like 15, and then on the 13th they're gonna be like, fuck it, all the way till the end of the month.
Right.
And then hopefully we're gonna start living a normal life again, you know?
Yeah, that'd be. Are you? And obviously, I know schools are shut down. We have kids, so our schools are completely shut down. We're home with our wives and kids. But are they doing online curriculum and kind of that kind of stuff for the kids? Do you know anything about that at all, or?
So what I know is that some schools started doing like online lessons. You know what I mean? So the kids wake up in the morning. They got in front of their laptop and the teacher is like, you know, doing the classes and all that. But, you know, they're kind of having a problem with that because, like, the thing also to say, we have a very high death rate because we are, like, the population with the 5th eldest population in the world.
Oh, okay.
Country with so we have a lot of older people, a good percentage of it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are teachers, you know. So I was talking to a friend of mine and her kid she can't have the lesson, which was supposed to happen because this teacher doesn't know how to figure out a computer, you know?
Sounds about right. Know, that's most teachers.
A little bit
probably,
of technical problems, you know, but, you know, here and there. All the university classes, they're online. And, you know, my friends that are in university, they keep studying and they keep, you know, like following classes like that.
Yeah. But you are starting to see, you're thinking May, because that's what I think. I don't think we're moving anywhere till fucking May, man. There's just no way. You know, even our president wants us to get back to work by the 15th because Easter's a very special day for him. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's bananas, you know what I mean? I don't know what to even do. It's cool to see you guys are, everyone's, it always looks like everyone else is handling it better than we are,
But I think it's not true because if you look at UK, in Britain, the same thing happened. You know, like they played it down because there are some countries that are more concerned about the economy, which is not a bad thing. You know, it's like you pick one, you lose the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't
some
have
countries
both.
decide to keep the money running and have more people dying. Italy is very much the opposite of that when it comes to that. You know, like our culture and the way we are. So we're basically fucking the entire country over, but at least we're saving lives, you know? So, you know, the only thing I think some countries made the mistake of, you know, playing it down at the beginning, where if they would have taken those measures at the beginning, maybe in 10 days, you guys would be good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, or maybe if our president fired the whole
him.
entire pandemic response team, you know what I mean? That would have been
And
cool.
himself too with that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'm just, and then I read that the prime minister of the UK, what's that other Trump, like Boris, whatever the
Boris
fuck is that?
Johnson.
Yeah, I heard he just got diagnosed with corona. Or he just got tested positive. I was like, oh,
Funny because last week it was like, okay, so here's our plan. We're gonna have everything running normally so that everybody gets it. We develop antibodies and we'll be the strongest country in the world,
Right.
And a week after, he's on TV like, you guys did the same.
He's all, I'll gladly die for the never mind. Yeah, that's wild, man.
What okay, so you've been home. You ain't, you can only fill so much time in the day playing guitar. What movies have you discovered that you think everyone should watch? Give us 2 movies that you think people should watch. Do you watch anything on Netflix? Do you do anything like that? Yeah.
Actually, there's 2 movies that I think they're perfect for this time. I don't know if you guys watched The Platform. Did you see that one?
I just started it yesterday, and it looks pretty gnarly, dude.
Fucking amazing, man. That's
like
a good metaphor of how the world is going these days.
Yeah.
And another one is based off a book. I don't know if you guys ever read it. I bought it again because I couldn't find it. I read it a long time ago. It's
1984.
So I didn't know that they also made a movie about it. And I found out about the movie a few days ago, and I watched that. So that movie is pretty interesting too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those are like the 2 movies that kind of reflect also the things that are happening these days.
So The Platform in 1984. All right, that was a good recommendation.
Sounds good.
Those are good.
What have you done? What are you doing to help alleviate like the mental stress? Are you an exercise guy? Are you meditating?
Yeah.
I'm finding a lot of guys are trying to figure out how to meditate, and I'm actually doing the same. I'm like, dude, I got to figure something out, because you can work out at home, you know what I mean? But what are you doing to alleviate the stress?
I try to work out, but I'm a pretty lazy guy, so it doesn't stick much with me. But I write a lot. I find that writing is even for some weird reason even better than music in these times.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe because I've done music so much in my years that it's kind of something that I already been doing for a while, and writing is kind of a new thing that I kind of started doing since this thing happened, and I just like sit down and like let it all come out. That's really something. And me and my mom just like turning this place upside down, cleaning behind the furnitures, like doing all that kind of shit, and spending time with family, because again, I've been gone for almost 5 years, 5 years total. So it's nice to be with family and like try to spend time together and do things together, be productive, and enjoy each other's time.
Nice.
Yeah, man. One thing I find is I think this is going to be, in all the darkness and all that, I think this is really going to be so beneficial for people to really appreciate each other a little bit. You know what I mean? And come out, now you have no other time but to focus on yourself or your family. And me and John were joking the other day, is like, you're going to see how many people really love each other the next 10 weeks, you know what I mean? Or don't love each other, or, how good of a dad you are. You know what I mean? It's like all these things. But I think that, when we come out of here, man, like if you're any sort of normal fucking person, you're going to really appreciate the ones you love, the ones around you, the ones you have to take care of. You know what I mean? Hopefully we've been so comfortable, man, like as a species, you know what I mean? Like we don't have any real struggle. We're not running from lions anymore. We're not doing any of that, so I hopefully whatever happens, we come out appreciating each other a little bit more,
I think, that would be a very good outcome, and it would be great if people do that, because it's like I feel like we as a species, like humanity, we pushed way too hard in the past 15, 20 years especially. So, it's good to start from zero again and like, you know, like measuring everything that you do and thinking about what you do instead of being so automated with everything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
What okay, so we could wrap it up kind of on this. What is something that if Italy were to have a message for America, what would it be? What would you think the collective thing of Italy would be like, yo, this is what we could do to kind of like make, you know, for us to get in a better position, you know? What would you say? You know, like, cause like out here, there's people going like, oh my God, I gotta stay inside. Oh, this is horrible. It's like, look, it is what it, you know, I'm like, it is what it is. You're in Italy dealing with what has been told to us is the craziest of the crazy right now.
I would say stay the fuck home. First one, you know, like don't go surf, don't go. I know that people are like freaking out and go surfing and shit, and you can't surf. You know, like don't do nothing. And for like, especially for LA area, you know, try to take care of like everybody. I see in these days there's a lot of like homeless people just like stranded everywhere. It's kind of becoming crazy out there a little bit. So like there's no more important, you know what I mean? Like everybody, it's the same. And if you look at it like that, maybe there's a way out of this for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Beautiful, man.
I like that. I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, dude. Thanks, Simo, for coming and doing
Yeah.
this with us.
Pleasure
Love
to
you
meet
guys.
you. You got
All right.
anything you want to promote? Any of your handles on social media you want to get out there?
Anything like that. Now's the time.
Yeah, sure. I have Instagram. It's Simo Perini, and Simo Perini. I post all my drumming stuff there, all my music stuff. If you guys want to check it out and say hi, I'm there.
Cool. We'll definitely post it as well when we post all this stuff and everything like that.
All right. I appreciate it, guys.
All right.
All right,
cool,
brother. Pleasure
cool.
to meet you, man.
Yeah. One love,
you, guys.
Simo. We're gonna go ahead and end the recording and end this episode. Thanks everybody for hanging out and doing this with us, and thanks Simo for being awesome and being in the shit and giving us the first-hand experience. Be safe, Simo. I love you.
Thank you, brother. You guys be safe too.
All right, cool.
Later, man.
Later, guys.
All right.
Yeah.